Give the call to the member for Boothby.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister. How is the government's budget delivering for women?
Give the call to the Prime Minister.
Thanks very much, Mr Speaker, and I thank the member for Boothby for her question and for her advocacy. The member for Boothby, of course, stood up for the rights of women, particularly in the roles that she played at St Vincent de Paul and other areas as well, looking after disadvantaged people in her electorate. And this is a budget that puts equality for women at its centre. Cheaper childcare and early childhood education. $4.6 billion over 4 years. Good for families, good for children, but importantly, economic reform that's good for the economy. Reform that will boost productivity, boost women's workforce participation, boost their retirement incomes and, of course, act as an incentive to boost population as well. We have the biggest expansion to paid parental leave since it was introduced back in 2011, of course, by a Labor government, designed to encourage parents to share caring responsibilities more equally. Record funding for women's safety, $1.7 billion over 6 years. This includes investing in an additional 500 frontline community workers, ensuring that the returns of the $10 billion Housing Australia Future Fund can help deliver 4,000 new homes to put a roof over the heads of women and children fleeing violence and older women who are at risk of homelessness. $100 million for crisis and transitional housing options for women and children fleeing violence. Fully implementing the Respect at Work report, including implementing working women's centres in every single state and territory. And today, I note that today we have finally carried through both houses of parliament 10 days family domestic violence leave. An important thing so that women won't be faced with a choice of putting food on the table or staying in a violent situation. Very important, and I thank the parliament for adopting this important measure. Importantly as well, of the 2.7 million workers who the just over $1 an hour pay increase flowed through to, an overwhelming majority of those were women. Just as those women who work in the aged care sector will benefit from our advocacy of an increase in pay. We're leading the national push to expose and close the gender pay gap. We have introduced the Respect at Work report legislation, as we have the other legislation around this. All of this has been missing from the national stage for nearly a decade. In their first budget, of course, Tony Abbott was remarkably the Minister for the Status of Women. There was only one woman in their first cabinet. We have a majority of women in the Labor caucus, 54 out of 103, a fact that we are proud of.